A needle drops in a dark room, 1966. Under the static is a voice that helped build an empire, and a name the history books quietly dropped. Soul music wasn't only shaped by the faces on the album covers, it was shaped by women the industry used, praised, and erased the moment they stopped being convenient.
Oh, I used to love to run the rain.
Tonight, we count down 10 women who changed this sound forever, and the machine that made sure most of you never learned their names.
The bang bang boogie, say up jump the boogie to the rhythm of the boogie beat.
If you want the stories the liner notes left out, subscribe now. Because we are not stopping at 10.
Here you come again.
And our number one, she built Motown's first empire before anyone had heard of Diana Ross.
Any other way.
What the industry did to her afterward is one of soul music's most shameful secrets. The countdown begins now. Number 10. Bettye LaVette, My Man. He's a Lovin' Man. Muscle Shoals, Alabama, 1972. A 26-year-old steps into the same studio where Aretha and Otis left their fingerprints. The tape rolls raw and cracked open, exactly the way soul should sound. Everyone in that room believes they're making the album that finally makes her a star.
He's a loving man.
They're wrong. Atlantic shelves it. No explanation. Just silence. Bettye LaVette had already been famous once, briefly, at 16, with the top 10 hit, My Man, He's a Lovin' Man. Then nothing but small labels and broken promises, while Detroit friends Diana Ross and Aretha Franklin became icons. She survived on Broadway, singing 6 years in Bubblin' Brown Sugar, while her real breakthrough sat in a vault, rumored to have burned in a warehouse fire. A ghost story musicians told each other in green rooms.
He's a loving man.
It hadn't burned. It had just been forgotten, same as she had. That album sat unheard for 28 years. Not because it wasn't good enough, but because of what LaVette later called an internal power struggle that had nothing to do with her voice.
Up your home, and they'll try to tell you that you.
A French collector finally found the masters in 2000. Critics called it one of the best soul records of its era. She'd been sitting on a masterpiece the whole time, and nobody had told her why they buried it. She got her name back. Not everyone on this list was so lucky.
He said, come on, and let me show you.
Number 9. Linda Jones, Hypnotized. The Apollo Theater, March 14th, 1972. A 27-year-old with the most technically staggering voice in soul music is 2 weeks into a sold-out run. Between shows, she goes home to rest. She doesn't get back up in time. If you've never heard of Linda Jones, that's the tragedy in one sentence. Singing since age 6 in her family's gospel group. By the time she recorded Hypnotized in 1967, she had a sound that stopped professionals cold in the control room. What the crowds clapping for her didn't know, she'd been quietly managing diabetes her whole adult life, performing through exhaustion nobody in the industry thought to ask about. She'd just signed to a new label the year before she died, run by a woman who understood exactly what it meant to be underestimated in this business. We'll get to her story later tonight.
fingertips, one kiss from your sweet.
The night she died, her single, Your Precious Love, was still climbing the charts, the biggest hit of her career, arriving the same week she was buried. She never lived to see how close she'd come.
Gee, I'm so.
The next woman didn't disappear into silence. She disappeared into a country that wasn't ready to see her. Number 8. Jackie Shane, Any Other Way.
Any other way.
Toronto, 1963. Inside a packed nightclub, a black woman with a voice like gravel, wrapped in velvet, brings the room to its feet, and everyone can see exactly who she is, because she's never once asked them to pretend otherwise. Jackie Shane knew she was a woman by 13, growing up in segregated Nashville, and left the South rather than keep folding herself into a shape that didn't fit.
She wants to know how.
Toronto let her simply perform. Her regional hit, Any Other Way, became a phenomenon, and tucked inside it was a line about telling someone she was happy, using an older word for happy that, to anyone listening closely, meant something else entirely.
But when you see my baby,
She'd found a way to tell the truth in code, on the radio, in 1963.
since we've been apart.
Motown wanted her. Atlantic wanted her. She turned both down, distrusting what major labels did to artists who signed away control. Then in 1971, at the height of her popularity, she vanished. No farewell, just gone home to Nashville to care for her mother. Fans assumed she'd died.
Any other way.
It took a researcher 4 years just to get her on the phone in 2014. Her reissued music earned a Grammy nomination in 2017, 46 years after she walked away. She died in 2019 at 78, a legend half her fans had assumed was a ghost. What happened to the next woman wasn't her choice at all. It was built by the industry, on purpose, in broad daylight. Number 7. Bette Davis, Nasty Gal. Detroit, 1974. A radio director pulls a record off the air before the first verse ends. In Kansas City, a station gets picketed for accidentally playing it. The NASCEP calls the singer to say she's a disgrace to her race.
Tell 'em why I wanna tell 'em why you used to love.
Her name was Bette Davis. She wrote, arranged, and produced her own funk records at a time almost no woman had that control. Married briefly to Miles Davis, she's often remembered as his footnote.
Hey, hi. I said,
She introduced him to Jimi Hendrix and reportedly suggested the title Bitches Brew. History remembers that album as his reinvention. It rarely mentions whose vision pointed him there. Her own 3 albums, released between 1973 and 1975, were too raw, too sexually direct for radio to touch. Boycotts, bans, a 4th album shelved entirely.
my name in the mud all over time.
By 1980, after her father's death, she walked away and disappeared into a quiet Pittsburgh suburb, telling almost no one who she used to be.
Love you well, but you know you lied.
For 30 years, the only people keeping her name alive were hip-hop producers, sampling her without listeners knowing who they were sampling. She didn't resurface until a 2017 documentary, and even then chose to be heard, not seen. She She died in 2022, half her life invisible by choice, because the industry made clear the first time exactly what it thought she deserved.
Did him in, I say why he want this nasty gal back.
The next woman didn't lose her voice to silence. She lost it to someone else's signature on the paperwork. Number 6. Fontella Bass, Rescue Me. Chess Records, Chicago, August 1965. A 22-year-old helps write a song line by line in the room with the musicians around her. 3 takes later, it's finished. A number 1 R&B smash. Her name is Fontella Bass. The song, Rescue Me. Her name wasn't on it as a writer. She was told it would be added later. It never was. Her first royalty check was so small she tore it in half and threw it back across the desk. She kept asking for years, then largely walked away from pop music, moving to Paris with her husband, jazz trumpeter Lester Bowie, singing gospel instead. Music that at least didn't pretend to owe her something it wouldn't pay. Then around 1990, she heard her own song selling credit cards. American Express had used it without ever asking. It took suing American Express in 1993, nearly 30 years after she co-wrote it, before Bass won a settlement and reclaimed credit for Rescue Me. A corporation's unauthorized use is what finally forced the industry to admit what she'd said since 1965. We're halfway through tonight's countdown, and the betrayals don't get gentler from here. Number 5. Irma Thomas, Time Is On My Side. New Orleans, early 1964. A 23-year-old records a gospel-soaked B-side in a matter of hours. It's called Time Is On My Side. Months later, 5 young men from London find the record crate digging in Soho, cut their own version, and score their first American top 10 hit. Most of the country now believes the song belongs to them. Irma Thomas didn't invent it. An earlier instrumental existed too. But it was her phrasing, her aching pauses, that the world actually fell in love with, quietly absorbed into a British band's arrangement without a phone call. For decades, she refused to perform it live, not because she'd forgotten it, but because singing it meant standing in the shadow of the version that eclipsed hers everywhere. It took 60 years to set right. In May 2024, Mick Jagger introduced her by name as the Soul Queen of New Orleans and sang it with her on stage, the Stones' first live performance of the song since 1998. Lovely. Also 60 years late. The next woman didn't lose credit for one song. She built an entire genre and still isn't the name you'd guess invented it. Number 4. Sylvia Robinson, Rapper's Delight. A Harlem Club, 1979. A struggling executive in her 40s watches a DJ talk rhythmically over a breakbeat while the crowd loses its mind. Something tells her, put that on a record, and it's the biggest thing in the world. Nobody believed her. Her label, Sugar Hill Records, was near bankruptcy. Radio called rap a fad. She held auditions in her own living room anyway, assembled 3 unknowns into the Sugar Hill Gang,
The band man boogie, say up jump the boogie to the rhythm of the boogie beat.
and produced Rapper's Delight in a single take. It sold over 8 million copies, the record that introduced hip-hop to mainstream America, the blueprint every rap artist since has built on, whether they know her name or not.
Got bodyguards, I got 2 big guns, it definitely ain't the whack.
Say her name to most hip-hop fans today, and you get a blank look. Say Rapper's Delight, and everyone knows it instantly.
Did ever spin, but I wouldn't give a sucker or a punk from the rock and not.
Sylvia Robinson died in 2011. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame didn't induct her until 2022, 11 years after her death, 43 years after she proved an industry wrong. She built something worth billions off the instinct everyone dismissed, and it still took a decade after she was gone for the institutions to catch up. The next woman didn't just get pushed out of the spotlight, she got pushed out of the group she built with her own hands. Number 3. Florence Ballard. Where Did Our Love Go? Detroit, 1968. A former superstar sits at her kitchen table looking through the mail for a welfare check. A few years earlier, her face was on magazine covers. Florence Ballard didn't just join the Supremes. She founded them, recruited the members, chose the name, before Motown quietly repositioned Diana Ross as the face of the group.
Don't you want me no more?
By 1967, she'd been pushed out entirely, replaced in a lineup soon rebranded Diana Ross and the Supremes, as if its original architect had never existed. She sued Motown and lost.
That stings like a bee.
Her marriage collapsed. Her home was foreclosed. By the early 70s, one of the most successful black performers in American history was on welfare.
And it hurts so bad.
In 1975, she reconciled with Ross and started talking about a comeback. People said you could see her coming back to life.
You were a perfect guy.
Florence Ballard died of a blood clot in February 1976, at 32, mid-comeback. Her story would later become the uncredited emotional blueprint for Dreamgirls, watched by millions who never learned the real woman's name.
Before you won my heart.
She was posthumously inducted into the Rock Hall in 1988, the first woman ever so honored, 12 years too late to know it.
All by myself.
What happened to the next woman didn't take years to unfold. It happened live, in front of an audience, in the arms of the man who loved her. Number 2. Tammi Terrell, Ain't No Mountain High Enough. Hampton Sydney College, Virginia, October 14, 1967. On stage, a 22-year-old's knees buckle mid-song, and she collapses into her duet partner's arms. His name is Marvin Gaye. Neither knows it yet, but this ends everything they were about to become together. Doctors found a malignant brain tumor, but Terrell had already survived one kind of damage before Motown signed her. An earlier relationship, while still a teenager working under James Brown, that family members and biographers have described as violently abusive. Whether that trauma played any role in what came for her brain, No one can say for certain. Motown initially downplayed how serious the diagnosis was. Between 8 surgeries, she kept recording, kept smiling, because that's what was expected. By the end, she'd lost most of her hearing, most of her sight, and dropped under 100 pounds. Marvin Gaye never fully recovered either, developing crippling stage fright and eventually channeling his grief into What's Going On. Remembered as his masterpiece, and in part, a eulogy. Tammi Terrell died March 16, 1970, a month before turning 25. Her mother was so furious at Motown's handling of her daughter's decline that she banned nearly everyone from the label from the funeral. Everyone except Marvin Gaye. The one person she believed had loved her daughter as a human being, not an asset. Our final woman lost credit, money, and her place in the story, and she's the reason any of this music exists at all. Number 1. Mary Wells, My Guy. Los Angeles, 1990. A former superstar hears the word cancer for the first time. No health insurance. Within months, she'll lose the home she shares with her daughter. Nobody at the label that made a fortune off her voice owes her $1 of it. Rewind 30 years. A 17-year-old walks into a Detroit audition with a song written for someone else entirely. Berry Gordy likes her voice more than the song. Her name is Mary Wells, and she becomes Motown's very first star, years before the Supremes, years before Diana Ross is a household name. My Guy hits number 1. The Beatles publicly call her their favorite American singer and invite her to open their UK tour. For a moment, Mary Wells doesn't just work for Motown. She is Motown. Proof the whole experiment could work. Then in 1964, at 21, 20th Century Fox offers her several $100,000 to leave. She takes it, believing she's finally being valued. The new label doesn't know what to do with her. Her career quietly stalls while the artists she paved the way for become the icons she was supposed to be. By the time cancer took her voice in 1990, she had nothing left to fall back on. Then the industry that let her fall finally noticed. Diana Ross, Stevie Wonder, Rod Stewart, Bruce Springsteen, Martha Reeves, Mary Wilson, Bonnie Raitt, Dionne Warwick, artists who owed pieces of their careers to the door she'd kicked open, quietly covered her medical bills, one check at a time, because the system that profited from her never built one. Before she died, Mary Wells testified before Congress about cancer research funding, using what little voice she had left to fight for others the way no institution ever fought for her. She died July 26, 1992, at 49. The woman who built Motown's first empire died needing charity from friends because the industry she helped invent never once considered what it owed her back. 10 women, 10 sounds this industry couldn't have existed without, and 10 names it let the rest of us forget. 10 women, 10 sounds that never really left us, even when the industry tried to leave them behind.
I'll be there in a hurry. You don't have to worry.
Every record they made was like a message sealed in wax and dropped into the years. Some arrived decades late. Some are still out there floating, waiting for the right ears to find them. Tonight was about opening 10 letters the industry never wanted delivered. Tell us in the comments which name surprised you most. And subscribe. Because we are not done uncovering the voices they tried to erase. There are more women, more truths, more records waiting to be heard the way they were always meant to be. The music never lies, even when the industry does.